Going live, going live, going live, and we are live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to Esser and Odetta for being the first one in this morning. Shout out to Sean Cassell. Sean says, Morning fam, and please hit the like button as you join the live. I have the 1-806-587-8953. Let me pin that message. That's the call in number, and it's free on WhatsApp. So you use WhatsApp and call in, and you're calling for free. June O'Brien, big up yourself. Thank you for being here this morning. Sharon Spence, Faith Shepherd, Audrey Wright, thank you for being here. Lady J, Wayne Nathan, Mervyn Point, Jamaica, Kurz in the building, Dainty D, big up yourself. Ricky Reed, Marcia Walters, Virtuous Fire, Vicky Victory is in the building this morning. Kai Tai Jai, Empress is in the building this morning. Unstoppable Josh, Mitchell Howell is in the building this morning. Rosalind Smichael, good morning and thank you for being with us. Elaine Brown is here. Onika John Jones is here. Real G. Reggae Girl Bento. Hope all is well. Blessed morning. Crystal G is in the building. BM Senior Sexy is here. Mistress Michelle Banton is in the building this morning. Watching live from Jamaica. Donna Davis is here this morning as well. Virtuous Fire, Denzel Gale, and Sandra Ellis. Shout out to all whose name I called out. Dorothy T, the last one. If I haven't called your name, you already know. It's manners and respect, and big up to you same way. Let me do my official, like the way I do it before. I'm a kind of OCD, so if I don't do things how it's planned, or how it's scheduled to be done, then I get thrown off. So shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers, the Uber driver, the Lyft driver, the truck driver, the taxi driver, the food delivery drivers, the round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Don't let that go over your head either. Want good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Beast Boy, big up yourself. King Biggs, morning fam. Mr. Article Don, Black Eagle is in the building. Pussy Galore is here as well. Carrie Ann Jones is here. Sharon Ingram, Brick House in the building this morning. Listen, we got a couple of things to talk about this morning, right? Nothing too fancy and all that, but I found one of these stories quite interesting, which comes with a warning. It comes with a warning from me, and my personal experiences on this journey, this road. So here are our topics for the morning. Hot and spicy. Thank you for being here. Here are our topics for this morning. SSL Client Relationship Manager Jean Ann Panton. Her assets are frozen. So they went back to court to try to, for those of you who don't know who that is, Jean Ann Panton is the SSL Client Relations Manager who confessed to fleecing over 40 of her customers. However, she said that Usain Bolt's account was not under her management. Therefore, she couldn't have touched Usain Bolt's money. We're talking about the same incident in which Usain Bolt was fleeced of over 12 million US dollars. Right. There's another headline that came out this morning that said an 80-year-old person who lost their account at SSL as well, some 800 and something thousand US dollars was in that account and it's all gone. I don't know what I would do if that was my whole life savings and I hit 80. I reach 80. I put on 800 and something thousand US and all that gone. I don't know. Them thing that cause people to have heart attack. There was a story of a Jamaican couple that went to Jamaica, packed up all their stuff and left. This is what they had been planning to do for years. They did not trust banks. They brought all their savings in cash, couple 100,000 US dollars. You can't travel through without, travel through customs without declaring a certain amount of money. Some people are under the impression that you can't travel with a large sum of money. The fact of the matter is you can. You can travel with a large amount of money. I could travel with 150,000 US dollars cash on me right through the airport. Here's the thing, you have to declare it. And then there are steps and processes, steps and a process that you go through when you declare that money. Now they check and the money is legit and you go right on through with your money. I seen a Chinese man come through with a suitcase full, an Arab man lying. It's an Arab businessman. He came through with a suitcase full of US cash and they didn't hold on to his money because his money was declared. They checked the suitcase anyways, and when they opened it up, you know, it was an amazing sight to see a big old suitcase you thought would be filled with clothes was filled with straight cash. So anyhow, you can do all that. Well, the couple came to Jamaica with their money, their whole life savings, and they a police officer was involved. They had a police officer that they trusted to escort them. On their way being escorted, the police officer said, hold on, let me stop over here so I pick up so-and-so because I have to drop him over so-and-so by a certain time. And they thought nothing of it. Well, when he dropped so-and-so over so, their money went with so-and-so because when they got to their location, there was no money in the car. The wife had a heart attack and died. I covered that story previously. The wife had a heart attack and died, and her husband had a stroke following her having a heart attack and dying. So them kind of something that it's detrimental to like older people. That's why we were saying yesterday about the prank stuff as well. It's along the same lines. Like, be careful who you're doing that stuff to. You might cause more damage than just a hee 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 laugh and somebody was scared. Somebody might really go into cardiac arrest or something. So anyhow, SSL Client Relations Manager Jean Ann Panton assets are frozen, and we're going to talk about how much assets she has. This is going to be very surprising to a lot of people who don't know already. They went back to court to try to get an extension. They went back to court to try to get the asset frozen thing lifted, but instead it was extended. We're going to get into her story. There's a young man named Rasheem Carter. Rasheem Carter. If you look at the icon for this video this morning, he's the one that's wearing the red, white, and blue outfit that's at the center of the picture. Fairly young looking young man, look like he's in his 20s, right? He was reported missing in Mississippi, and they found him headless. So we're going to talk about the situation surrounding Rasheem's going missing and then being found headless. And I have a little advice to give because I know there are a lot of you out here who's from the Caribbean community who travel for work in the US, who are on the road and on the go and do frequent these southern states, right? And a lot of you probably think that things are sweet, and it's not. All right. And then there's a story of a man who got sentenced to 400 years, and he was recently exonerated. Turns out it wasn't him that did what he did. You know, I tell people all the time that there are innocent people, and there are lots of innocent people that are locked up behind bars. A lot of stuff points towards them that would make the average person say, I him, man, I him do it. Yes, it's him. But it's not them. It's not them. So thorough investigation was needed, and it wasn't done until decades later. We're going to get into that story. Shout out to everybody who watched the Andrew Holness Privy Council video that I had put up about a week ago, 7 days ago or so. That video is almost at 100,000, which means that a lot of people saw it, just like I wanted a lot of people to see it. That video entails the Prime Minister of Jamaica being appointed to the Privy Council by the Queen's request, before the Queen's passing. Somebody said, SouFLo, this is irrelevant news because the Queen is dead. It's amazing how, and I don't fault anybody. I mean, if you don't know, you just don't know. So here's the explanation quickly. The queen has passed physically. The queen was only a representative of the monarchy, right? Their goal is to have the monarchy live forever. That means whoever replaces the next person on the throne will be the one in charge. So Jamaica had the queen as the head of state, and now Jamaica has the king as the head of state because Charles replaced Queen Elizabeth when she passed as the person on that throne. After Charles passes, there will be somebody else to represent him, probably one of the brothers, the two brothers there, that one is married to this one and that one, and big media stuff. Y'all know their names and their faces and whatever. But anyways, one of them will probably be replacing him. And then that person will also, William or the other one, and they will now be the head of state for Jamaica, as long as Jamaica remains under the monarchy. A lot of people were excited. Yo, a big things at one, man. Andrew Holness appointed to Privy Council. And I explained all that in that video. I did some painstaking research to find out certain things like the oath that they take, the words of the oath. Words mean a lot. What it means for Jamaica as far as ever getting reparations for chattel slavery. Everybody knows that Great Britain, rose to prominence and wealth out of what took place in the Caribbean, especially Jamaica and others like Jamaica, but Jamaica was one of the main ones, right? So this relationship between Harry and William, yes, that this relationship between Jamaica and the UK, or Jamaica and Great Britain, is properly explained in that video, and how as soon as Jamaica started asking for or saying that they were going to be removing the Queen as head of state, Andrew Holness gets appointed by the Queen to her Privy Council. And you will know if you watch that video exactly what his position is at Privy Council. He's not just thrown in. There's like 700 and something people that are appointed to Privy Council, but there's a special unit within the Privy Council that he is a part of. And the rest goes on and on. Seeing? So it will tell you what to look forward to as far as removing the head of the queen as the head of state, or the king now, the monarchy, coming up from under the monarchy, becoming a republic. It will tell you what will happen for a bunch of other things, where his loyalty lies, basically, because that oath was a serious oath. It's where his loyalty lies. The oath outlines what it is he is to do every chance he gets. There's a brooch, a badge that is handed to each one of them. We've been over this before. But when you put the oath together with that badge, and you will see the badge in the video, you'll understand what your leader stands for, what he represents, and then you can guess the rest that's coming. Just trying to enlighten some people, because people don't really understand, or they don't really know. But we're not going to spend too much on that this morning. Go watch the video. Like I said, it's almost at 100K. And I thank those who are watching it, because I really wanted for people to see that and get that information right there. For those who have shared it, thank you for sharing it. The more you share it, the more people will get knowledge of what is actually taking place. Half of we don't even know what's going on around us. We just out here every day watching social media, reading comment sections, going about our business, doing our 9 to 5s and all that other stuff. We don't know what going on. We don't know what's taking place around us until it really hits and everything is in shambles, and then we're like, oh, I'm just finding out about. That's why we're here. All right, let's start out with this story. A black man was decapitated after saying that he was being chased by white men. Why do the police say that there was no foul play? Yes, Kaitai Jai Empress, foot on your neck, but they'll see it. Whoever watches the video will see it, because I did the brooch, and I blew up the brooch big enough so you can see clearly what the picture is. Before I go on to this story right here, let me say something. It's amazing. I can't fathom how they could actually, like the governor general or the prime minister, I can't fathom how, as a man of color, a black man, you would take that brooch and consider it something honorary being given to you and then wear it. When somebody gives you that, that's like somebody giving me a gift and a platter, and it's a noose, a slice of watermelon, and a rhetoric picture from back in the day of a lynching. And I'm taking it and I'm like, thank you, your royal highness, greatness, whatever. I'm just baffled as to how they did that. You know, that's like saying before somebody, yeah, my intelligence is so low that I don't even know what you're giving me. I'm just gonna take it and wear it. But you can clearly see what it is. You can clearly see what it is. Jamaicans did one uproar about it when people like me and others, I don't remember who else did it, blew it up because we have Zoom now, you know. We never used to have Zoom on these things before. So what I did was I actually took my Canon camera and I zoomed in, right? And then I took a picture of it close up and then I blew it up so everybody could, and then I re-edited it, put all the colors back in it so everybody could see clearly what it was. And then it was, whoa, yo, this is craziness. Take that off. Yeah, that lasted for about a week. And then no more talks about it. They came out and said we're highly disappointed. We really never took a look at it before close up. We're highly disappointed that that is what it is. We won't be wearing it anymore, or we're seeking to have it changed to something else, or whatever them say. And then I've seen ceremonies after where it was back on their clothing again, and everybody is quiet again. Nobody says anything about it. So your leaders wear a brooch that has a white person with wings looking like an angel standing on the neck of a black person who's laying face down. We discovered that around the same time the George Floyd situation happened because, you know, George Floyd, he died with the knee on the neck kind of thing. Right, right. So take that into consideration. This is your leaders. And then you think they have your best interest at heart? If you wear a picture on your shirt of my family member being executed, I don't think you have my best interest at heart. Anyhow, Beast Boy says they hate him. My kid's mother has the same name. I taunt her all the time about him. I tell her cousin messing up the place. LOL. BS, they don't care about anyone but themselves. Donna Davis says he does not care about the people in Jamaica. He is so selfish thinking about himself. It's not him alone. The governor general too. All of them in those positions. In those positions, it's the same. Things are ran today. This is the hardest truth you will have to accept, and I have accepted it. Things are ran today, just like how they were ran in colonial times. They just look a bit more shinier, a bit more fancier, with a little bit of different names here and there. But you still have a governor general, which directly communicates with the crown, and you still have an overseer, which is your prime minister, which does all the work there, so closer to the people, but reports to the governor general, who reports to the crown, who then advises him through the crown, and then he does what's said. So it's the same thing, and Jamaica is still the big old plantation, with majority of the population being what they call black people today. So it's the same thing. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Look at the gift, that brooch. Yo, if me go, that's why people like me can never be. I would have to really camouflage myself and pretend, and I can't do it. Could you imagine me go kneel down there, so, and I'm giving that brooch, the seal when me seal that brooch like a frisbee, you see? They would probably do something to me. Cause from give me the brooch and me look on the brooch. What? I would have had to check her like, yo, no, Sarah still enough. Lizzie, come here. You look on this? Have you looked at this? This you give me? Me know say you understand pattern man and a rule with you long enough now. This you give me? Prof saying, why are you speaking like that? Slow down. My English is the Queen's English. What's this? Why this? Explain this to me. You want me wear this like big clown and claffy? This, look on it. You would have wear this if it was the other way around? The man ain't ask no question, then just take it and put it on. It's honorary. Okay. All right, Jamaica. All right, Caribbean. Good luck. We're in a pickle. All right. So a black man was decapitated after saying that he was being chased by a white man. They found him with his head missing. Why do people say, why is the police in this region saying there was no foul play? Like the man cut off his own head. One day in October, Rasheem Carter sent a chilling text message to his mother. The black 25-year-old told her, he's only 25, told her that he was being chased by a group of white men in a pickup truck while they hurled racial abuse slurs at him. She never heard from her son again. 1 month later, Carter remains were discovered in a wooded area. His head was completely severed from the rest of his body, according to the family. So why is the Mississippi authorities saying that there was no foul play in this situation? Y'all have to read undertones. I've been in circles with certain people, these types of people that you would think of. And I remember one of them saying one time, call me unruly, you know, them can't like push me over like that. I guess y'all could tell that by now. I have this streak of unruliness. Me a bad slave. See? I remember them offering me to take me out on a hunting trip. And I immediately read between the lines of what that was. Because we weren't on no friendly terms for them to take. But they said it to each other first in front of me before they said it to me. I was arguing with one of them, and then the next one said to the one I was arguing with, hey, invite him out on a hunting trip. We'll take him hunting. And other people in the circle were laughing, and it took me a while to get what they meant because I'm sitting there looking at them as, yeah, oh, country boys, you know, they probably love hunting and stuff like that. Then I was like, yeah. Remember Peter, the Jamaican dude with the dreadlocks that came up to the US somewhere up in Pennsylvania? And that's what they did. They invited him on a hunting trip. That was the cue that Peter should have said no, and he didn't recognize it. He thought new environment, new friends, trusting people. I'm going to go out into the woods and hunt with them on a hunting trip. Oh, it's like a nice. Not realizing that exactly, Michelle Howell, you will be the target in that hunting. And that's something that they do. It's a part of their history for whoever takes the bait. It was October 1st when Carter sent an ominous text message to his mother. Carter, who is a welder who lived in Fayette, Mississippi, he had gotten a short-term job as a contractor around 100 miles away from his hometown. Now, his mother, Tiffany Carter, said that he was saving up money to try to reopen his seafood restaurant. He's a welder by trade, but he also is known in his area for being a really good cook. And he opened a restaurant that was pretty successful. But Corona came around, COVID came around, that era. Remember, we just went through that, and many businesses folded under COVID. So did his. He closed, he had to close his doors. So he was trying to get some money to get back together, some money to reopen his business, right? So he took this job 100 miles away from where he lived. But Carter reached out to his mom, telling her in a detailed text message, detailed, that he was having issues with his coworkers and that he feared for his life here. Miss Carter said this in a press conference on March 13th. Today is the 16th. That's 3 days ago. Me and the owner of this company, we're not seeing eye to eye, Mom. If anything happens to me, he is responsible for it. He got these guys out here wanting to kill me. Carter gave his mother the name of the individual he was fearful of and told her that he was being targeted by a group of white men in 3 trucks. My son told me that it was 3 truckloads of white guys trying to kill him. And at the time that he told me, as a mother, I had to think fast. She said she urged them to go straight to the police station. In these in these southern states, especially them ones that are way back in the back of the bushes, you going to the police station is you going to one of those guys' uncle, his daddy's shooting partner, hunting partner, his grandfather's childhood friend is the sheriff in charge. You're really not going to help yourself. I'm sure, based on how this story is delivered, the fact that he actually went to the police station is the reason why, because somebody there told them, hey, they came and made a complaint on y'all. Yeah, little ninja boy came and made a complaint on y'all, says he fears for his life. He gave us all your names. Y'all gonna have to handle that. And it was done. Carter gave his mom all the names of the individuals he was fearful of and told her that if anything happened to him, this is where she should look. My son told me that it was 3 truckloads of white men that were trying to kill him. And at the time, me being a mom, I had to think fast, didn't know what else to tell my son, but run to the police. She said she urged him to go straight to the police station because in my heart, I felt that they would serve and protect, like they are obligated to do. Yeah. Carter did visit the Taylorville's police station on 2 separate occasions after speaking to his mom, or prior to his disappearance. And this was reported by ABC News. It's not clear when exactly those incidents were, like when he visited the police station, but after that day that he spoke to his mom and told her all the names and told her that 3 truckloads of white men, she never heard from him again. He was reported missing the next day, October 2nd. For a month after Carter's friends and family conducted searches, they were trying to find him, track down the missing young black man. Then on November 2nd, remember, no, this is October 2nd. On November 2nd, which is a whole month, exactly 1 month after he was last seen alive, his skeletal remains were discovered in a wooded area south of Taylorsville. In a statement announcing the discovery, the Smith County Sheriff's Office said that it did not believe that there were any signs of foul play here. I'm going to show you his. At the time, we have no reason to believe that there's any foul play. We don't think foul play was involved, but the case is still under investigation, so hang tight. This is his. Look at the picture of his skeletal, his skull. Now, I'm no doctor, but I went to school. I did anatomy and physiology, and I did biology at a university level. But I haven't looked in a book in a while. But I'm pretty sure that that's not how the top of our heads is sliced off in your skull. So you can only imagine what they did to him, right? Look at it. So for a whole department, law enforcement officials to say, at this time we suspect no foul play. Really? That man whole head top is missing. At this time, we suspect no foul play. That's crazy. That's crazy. So it is not clear what prompted law enforcement to reach that conclusion or what even led to the discovery of his remains. His remains were then transported to the state's crime lab for DNA confirmation. Now, while saying there was no indication of foul play, investigators asked the public to come forward with any tips that they might know which would help them in solving this case. Right. Yeah. The FBI and FBI was also assisting in the initial investigation, said Smith County Sheriff's Office. Now, more than 4 months after the 25-year-old remains were found, his devastated family is no closer to getting any other information out of them other than, well, we found him and we don't suspect any foul play at this time. No charges have been brought against anybody concerning his death. A spokesperson for the FBI told Independence on Wednesday that a cause of death has not yet been determined due to the condition of his remains. Y'all should learn that now based on the Andreen and Andre trial that we just went through. Beachy Stout's son. When Beachy Stout's son killed his wife, Andreen, and he, put the body out there and then the body was dismembered and animals came and dragged piece this way and piece that way and all that, and the decomposition level before she was found, she was missing for months. He was missing for a month. Andreen was missing for, I believe, 4 months or 5 months. So at that time, you remember the expert testifying in court by saying because of the level of decomposition, we can tell that blunt force trauma was a part of what happened in the process, but we cannot tell exactly what cause of death is because muscle tissues are missing, vital organs are missing. Say, for instance, he said if she was stabbed directly through the heart, we would not know because there is no heart there. There is no liver, no kidney, no vital organs, no nothing. So it's hard to say exactly for sure what cause of death is. But if you see a hole in the skull, then you know blunt force trauma to the head. She got beaten in the head, probably hit with a hammer, etc., etc. Right. So that's how they found him, and they're not sure what exactly caused his death. But that picture right there gives a whole novel of what he went through. I'm thinking old school lynching. I'm thinking torture. I'm thinking scalping him while he's alive. You know they used to scalp the Indians, right? They used to cut their hair off their head while they were alive. Of course, they would kill them after, but I'm thinking stuff like that, open the head up kind of thing. And that, I mean, the cranial bones are hard. So it's not going to be like one chop and you go straight through. This looked like probably some electronic saw was used to saw the whole top piece of his head off. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, fam. How you doing?
I'm good. These places are the worst places to go to as a black man.
Have you been to these places?
I've lived in Florida all my life. I've never been to anywhere else but Florida.
Okay.
So I don't know. But from what I've heard
Mm-hmm.
throughout the years, it don't seem like a safe place to be. I mean, there was a case, what am I name? The other day in February.
Mm.
Michael Corey Jenkins in Mississippi.
Mm.
Okay, so he was with his friend in his house, in his own house, and the police did a drug raid and busted in his home, accused him and of his friend of doing a drug selling,
Mm-hmm.
and arrested him. Did some interrogation for about 2 hours or so. In the interrogation process, I mean, they arrested him and took him to the jail. And in the process, they somehow shot him in his mouth They sexually assaulted him. They beat him, locked him in a freezer, and they did all sorts of stuff to the man. And the man somehow survived.
Survive.
Yeah, and he's actually Malcolm X's grandson and great grandson represented him as his lawyer. I
Mm.
mean, Mississippi police, Alabama police is not people you should deal with. Don't go to these places and believe that you can just trust anybody because
All
these
right.
people,
Well, that part I want to speak from experience because I've traveled through these places extensively. The fact that you said you've never been, I don't want you to be the one to tell people don't go there. I want me to do that because I've traveled through there extensively for years,
sure,
right? All right. So we're gonna leave this right here so and pick up back where I left off at so I can give proper advice. I don't want it
and
all right. All right. Thank you.
and
All right. So yeah, the fact that he said he has never been there, I don't want to hear from people who have never been. I want to hear from people who have been. Right. Shakira has probably been to not has probably been. If you name a southern state, she's been there. She's been there with me. We've been to every state in the South. And I'm not just talking about just fly past it. Oh, one is over there. I'm talking about making a point to stop in, get something to eat, walk around, watch the place, see the people, kind of thing, spend the night, these kind of things, right? So we've been to all these places: Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Tennessee. You name them, we've been there. Mrs. Nia says, you guys stayed everywhere. I remember following your vlogs. Yeah. When them used to say, whenever I know if you live, we're homeless. We are bunks about in a cheap motel. And SouFLo, you need to do better. Because you have the people, them daughter, staying at some little dirty, dingy motel. It's my Jamaican people, man. Nobody is bad to you more than your own. But hey, it is what it is. So we there, right? We were, of course. Steve James says, no job, no money is worth your life. Once you scared for your life, run. Let me finish this article and then I'll give you some proper advice. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety can offer no further comments or details pertaining to the death and the disappearance of Mr. Carter due to it being a pending investigation by the Smith County Sheriff's Department, so they no longer want to speak about it. The family is now demanding answers. So on Monday, Carter's grieving family called for the Justice Department to please step in and take over the investigation as they described his death as a murder and a lynching, obviously. In a press conference, the family's attorney, who is prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump, he revealed that results of an independent autopsy showed certain things. Showing graphic images of the black man's bones, he said that Carter was decapitated and that his remains were scattered around the area. His head was severed from his body. His his spinal cord was in another spot were discovered away from the severed head. He added that this was not a natural death. This represents a young man who was killed. The independent autopsy also revealed that Carter's bottom and top teeth were missing, suggesting he was assaulted and beaten to the point where all his teeth were knocked out of his mouth. There's nothing natural about this. It screams out for justice. What we have in Mississippi here today is a lynching, he said. Mr. Crump also said that someone had tried to use Carter's credit card at the time when he was now known to have already been dead. This was a nefarious act. I went and did some further looking up. They said that that must have been an error because his credit card was actually found on him, along with his wallet, along with his money in it, and all that. It was found on with the remains. So no one could have been trying to use his credit card or whatever, but they're still waiting for more information to come forward, right? You know the logistics of this all, how it goes, the technical part of things. Mr. Crumb said that someone had tried to use the credit card. We looked that up. It says that that was a fault. Somebody murdered Rasheem Carter, and we cannot let them get away with this. Mr. Crump and the family are urging the DOJ, which is the Department of Justice, to take over the investigation as a civil rights case following what they say is a month-long stonewalling by local authorities, because local authorities are no longer speaking to them. We have nothing further to say to you. We don't suspect any foul play. It is what it is. The Independent has reached out to multiple law enforcement agencies involved in the investigation, and a spokesperson for FBI Jackson said that the FBI routinely offers assistance to our law enforcement partners to provide additional manpower and to specialize resources if they become necessary. The Laurel Police Department, the Smith County Sheriff Department, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations, they are the lead investigating agencies on this particular case. From news to politics, travel to sports, all that you can find right here. End of the article. Listen, here's what I was going to say. You can be sucked in to these southern states. You will find nobody nicer. The stuff that you hear or that you think you know from way back when, gunslingers, shit kicker boots, big 10-gallon hats. Hey boy, what your kind doing around here? You're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it. You're gonna see people paying for your meals. You ain't never had badon. There's something called badon or something that what it. I remember somebody walked up and just said that to us. I think we were in Mississippi. I think we were in Mississippi. Yeah, y'all ain't never had badon. And we were like, nope, don't even know what it is. And he was like, well, that's a specialty around here. You're going to have to try it. You can't leave without trying it. Hey, matter of fact, he goes over to the person who was doing all the checkout and fixing food and stuff. And he was like, get them some of that badon. Make sure they get a whole lot of it. And pays for it. It's on me. Y'all have a good one now, you hear? And me and wifey, I look at each other like, yeah. I wonder if them are set up outside for lynching. I wonder if them are I wonder if them are poison the food and then we drop asleep halfway down the road and then them catch with this. I wonder, in other words, we not sleep. We're not lulled into the sweetness, but you can be. Everybody is, hey there, honey. How you doing there, baby? Everything all right, love? All right now, you need some help, just let me know. Easily. You're not going to meet aggressive, I don't like your kind around here, but you can sense it. And the tension in the air is so thick, you can sense it. But then you have those around that are so nice that you start feeling like, I'm good. Let me tell you what I do. And this is anytime I travel. That way, I'm locked and loaded. And it's not far. I even always used to tell myself, listen, I don't drive no big fancy vehicle. I don't drive no brand new vehicle, even though I have seen brand new vehicles dead on the side of the road and people out there trying to get help. Because y'all know what it looked like from, if you don't know what it looks like from Florida to say Texas, you're gonna have to go through some routes where there's a long space off. You better not break the hell down out here, kind of thing, right? It's just bushes and trees. I drive through those places, I'm thinking, damn, imagine my ancestors running through here. Imagine them trying to escape, trying to go north. Imagine them try. This is nothing but alligator ponds, and it's a scenic, surreal kind of thing to live and go through, right? So you driving through, I always keep one loaded, extra clip on my guard everywhere. And I drive at day and I stop at night. You see, once it starts to get dark, pull over, get me a hotel room, and I sleep with my gun in my hand or close to me enough for me to be like, or pull it from right, that's all, when I'm sleeping. Not talking about over there across the room or nothing like that. upon me, right? The whole time. And when I leave Florida to do contracts, and my contracts are 13 weeks minimum. For 13 weeks, I'm sleeping with that thing on me. I'm carrying it everywhere I go. Listen, and my only thing is this. If I ever break down somewhere and I need help, one thing I'm not leaving is my gun. I could leave my vehicle if somebody say, okay, we'll take you down the road now where you can get some help and, we'll get you a tow truck and all that, because they're really nice until you end up missing. They'll be so nice, you'll be off in the woods like, yeah, I was supposed to go to work today, but I'm on a hunting trip. They so nice, you'll start singing country music. They so nice, you'll start feeling like you're a part of the family. When I'm in Texas, I feel really Texan. Yeah, and you're tempted until you go missing. So the word of the day here is this. I don't know what that young man, he obviously was born and raised in that area, that environment. But when you're in something, it's just like Jamaicans that are in Jamaica that have never left Jamaica. They can't see from outside. If you're outside of a store looking in, you can literally see all the flaws and the stuff. You in that store, you never been outside looking into it. You can't see what the people outside looking in are seeing. So I guess that's one of those situations where he just thought, I've been around this my whole life. Nobody ain't never done me nothing. Mr. Joe, he lived right next door. He racist as hell. He fly his flag. He say all kinds of N words and all that. They ain't never did nothing to me. So I guess it's this kind of situation anyways. I just got to let mama know that there's some people out here that's threatening me. But it ain't going to be nothing too serious. I could defend myself. Probably ain't even packing a gun. Probably not even packing any protection. Don't be out here and left your head back careless. This to the Caribbean community, because there's a lot of us out here. I meet travel nurses, other therapists, physical therapists, those who do PT, those who do OT. I meet them out there on the road, and everybody is on guard. Everybody is on guard, but I've only met one that had the same mindset that I had. She had her gun, and her gun was loaded and ready to go. I remember the last place we stayed, I went and knocked on her door, and she answered the door with the gun, with the gun in her hand. And I was like, yo, you ready? And she was like, yeah, you got to be ready. Look at where we at. I'm like, yeah, you need that mindset. And please don't change it for as long as you're here. She actually replaced me as me and wifey moved on to another place before we left the whole state of Texas. So you out here, don't be out here thinking it's all sweet, because you're not going to see it coming. Your car broke down. Hey there, you need some help? I see you got a flat tire. Oh, you waiting for the tow truck? That tow truck gonna take forever to come. You got a spare? We can help you change it. Won't take long. Before you know it, he was last seen on the side of the road with a flat tire, wearing a red shirt, khaki pants, and black shoes. That's it. 4 months later, he was found in nearby bushes, head separate from his body. They're real nice. They're really, really nice. Is lynching still going on? Hell yeah. Nothing has changed. Just like I told y'all at the beginning of the video, Jamaican stuff, nothing has changed. Here, ain't nothing changed. Same old, same old. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
Doing good, good. Long time listener.
All right, thank you.
Talk to us. First time calling in. This is Trinity. So I have two stories to tell. I'm an over the road truck driver, right? There's a town in Texas, right off I-10, by the name of Sundown Town. The first First time I got a load going to that town. My load was supposed to deliver at 3 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the trucking industry, they have something they call detention. So they have 2 hours to take off the load.
Hold on. Before you go any further, for those who are listening, sundown town means your ass better not be caught around here at sundown. You get out before the sun goes down. All right, keep going.
Yeah. So by the time I finished offloading, it was like 5:30. The person who offloaded the truck said, my brother, you have half an hour to get out of here. You're supposed to do paperwork saying that empty and loading and rolling, I should say. My brother, I didn't even do that.
You cut.
I cut. Cut. You understand? Kentucky again. No, this is another state where you don't mess with. In the mountains, like you said, it's US road. You know, normally drive on the road. And you know, when you drive past, you smell food and the food smell nice. So, you know, always I drive past there, so. I mean, I say, yo, one day I will try the restaurant here. So one day, I have time for my aunt. And so me I tell my brother, me is a man who cook for my truck. Food always there for my truck.
Same.
You understand? So, when me go in at the store or the restaurant, as I walk in, brother, you know, when you walk in a restaurant, I hear silverware and knock. As I walk in, every silverware stop knock.
Stop knock. Quiet.
Stop knock. Let me say, stop knock. Let me say, all right, I want to name place here.
Michelle Howell says, where was this?
Well, the one with the restaurant is Kentucky.
All right.
You see? So
been there.
No matter if you're in the south or not, once you're in the country area or woodland area, prepare. You understand? And working in Jamaica, I used to be in the hotel industry, so you know about hospitality and all that stuff. Walk up to the counter, give me order. I mean, I said, baby girl, never mind. I walk out of the restaurant because guess what? I know about hospitality, but that the hospitality was too sweet, my brother.
You said that will be too nice there.
Too nice. They get back in a metro, and I just do road. You understand me?
I feel like sometimes I'm all just spitting at your food just for no reason, you know?
Exactly.
Right.
And you don't know what them are doing.
Right.
All right.
But we so brave. We so brave though. We don't know if we're brave or we're stupid, because we actually still go and we still order like nothing is wrong, and we eat and then go about your business. Like you don't normally eat from people who you know don't like you.
Okay. I'm gonna say this and then let you go.
All right.
We have a saying in the hospitality industry. There are 3 persons in life you do not disrespect: a chef, a waiter, and a doctor. Because all 3 of those persons let stuff goes inside your body.
Facts.
You get me?
Facts.
So my brother, keep on doing the good work.
Manners and respect, and stay safe out there, here. Keep your head on a swivel, my friend. All right.
Remember, rolling Trinity 876. No problem, only situation. You make your situation a problem if you want it to be. Live good, my brother.
Manners and respect, my friend. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, fam. What are you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a while since I called in from the program, you know? Wake up this morning and just hear you talk about the thing where down south and Then I see him thing where you're talking, the hospitality nice. The southern hospitality nice, but brother, them not nice down there. You see, me have nice people down there, but
right. But even the nice one, them we act like say nothing no go on one time something reach you,
Yeah.
Yeah, cause it's
And
finished
you hear what you
and
say?
them people.
You hear what you say? Lock and load.
Every
You have
time.
to lock and load down there for real,
Every time. Every
Yeah,
time.
cause we move down to Georgia and we left New York and go to Georgia.
Same.
And since we've been down there, man call me boy, nigger,
Me have to laugh.
crackhead.
Me have to laugh. No one said this for me down there. Man call me boy. But that's even a lot about the N-word, cause you know that come, but the boy. Come here, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, boy. The first time that
I
lick you,
have the accent good still, because I'm listening, you talk the southern accent good enough.
A long time there, A long time there.
But what you said? More people to listen to you and say, because everybody experience different, and as we say, people inside of Jamaica, they really understand. They say certain things are changed.
That's why Peter come here, come get caught up in the same thing, and you see all them skin him alive with up in Pennsylvania there. You see what them do to him, full him a bullet after them invite him go hunting.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, and him take the bait. And you know, nothing, just to give a heads up, fast forward to that case or update, nothing came of it. Nothing.
And let me tell you, the people, the culture, a United States, majority of them racist and some of them are bigot. You see me I say? And you know go get it, and a matter of fact, let me tell you exactly what I see with down south, why the people them stay the way them stay. It's just because the area isolated, people live so far apart from each other. It's not like when we live in the city like New York, Florida, and then where everybody melting pot. Them isolated, they not see nobody for miles, and them have to, so them
lock off to them own ways.
Area just make them mind just cluster out.
Right, true.
And it same thing when you say go back with Jamaica. That's why Jamaican people accent, because they've not left the country and go out, go communicate with other people and see other places. You see me? So it is a thing where you have to really have the head screw up, and as we say, don't let your head back careless.
Facts. Don't.
Oh, I just remember, I tell you, when we just moved down there, we meet this guy. That when we just got on there, I have a friend, so we meet this guy, and he say, yo, we're going to the karaoke bar, you can't come. And I say, yeah, all right, I'm coming. The time my wife up in New York, me alone down at Georgia, So,
I got try karaoke.
He say, which part of the bar they arrive on the same road where we live, so me have a reach more nearer. So me drive go to the bar before him. In the female that get ready. So me reach at the bar because me live nearer. So me reach probably about half an hour before him. You hear what the man call and tell us him going to the restaurant and him saying here thing a knock. And when him go in, everything stop knock. I see him thing happen to me. Me walk in at the bar. Me say me hear music from outside of the bar.
And when you walk in, everything stop.
Yeah, when me go through the door to blow, everything stop. Me say everybody a look for me. Me say me couldn't believe it because me go in at the bar with my afro, I'm a well, but remember New York where I come from, some fashion different.
Right.
You see me?
Don't bring that shit down here, boy.
No, I'm telling you, boy. So when we come to now,
damn Yankee.
Remember, we each different, I say, me a little boy, I pop up the New York ID and show him. And look for me and look for the ID, and I say, oh, go and have yourself a nice time. So I'm going at the bar, Me say, you hear the tension where the man say him feel, brother, me say, me I try hold my composure. And I say, all right, we go at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Section at the bar, nobody just stand up. And me there they say, I talk to the bartender and I order my juice.
Mm-hmm.
Me just see a man walk from out of nowhere, so me stand up in him space. Serious, you know?
Yo.
The man,
you stay there?
The man come and say, the man say, hey boy, you standing in my space.
Ross,
I said, no one was standing here. You said, you in my space. Then I try to explain to him, say, yo, I something me I go buy, me I move.
Mm-hmm.
One next white man turn around and say, you're in his space. So if you know, said the man literally hold me.
Move your
and
time.
Just move me.
And is your cue to go enough? You see, from here, you're in my space. Me nobody want the drink, you know. All that bartender, I'm out. Yeah.
Well, Anna, the man moved me out of the space.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the look what me give the man is like a punch more punch the boy and the white boy and I'm facing up.
Seeing.
You see the look what the man give me? And the lynch look the man give me. You hear me say?
Yeah, we have to take serious thing, make joke, no, but
I think give me the lynch look. I'm gonna say shit.
You know where you're there.
Yo.
Yeah, you know.
It's like
punch if you want to.
Fading, you know, message. Damn.
Yeah, punch if
girl,
you want
give
to.
Me the drink. So man, when the girls give me the drink, I'm a turner now. Me and the man, I make four. So it's like a God make it work out that way. You know, so me and the man, have an eye stand off when we have the drink in my hand.
Yeah, because them make you know, not true.
Yeah, me and the man look down at the man in my, but me I play tough to, you know. I say, yo, me nah fear them brother, you know.
Not rotten.
Yeah. And you know, say, God send somebody who know me, we in at the bar. The man don't know me name. Me just hear the man say, hey, that's the guy who work on my bike.
Rotten.
Yeah, I'm turning around to see the youth and then up early in the day, I see the brother, you know. And the man say, yo, what you doing here? That the man said to me, you know.
See you, you know.
Yeah, yo, may I tell you, this is when the man come and God send the man come. He might say, yo, me and my friends are around here by the pool table. You can come hang out with us. This is when me go walk around with the man and they're around there play pool. Me never start play pool. Them a play pool. So I stand up and watch them introduce me to them friend and thing and I'm there.
See.
You know, say two man them come around there.
Ross.
Two same man them when we have fuddle with at the bar table, you know. Come around there, come look for me. You know. So when the man them come around there, come look for me. The brother will know me, see when the man them look for me.
And him know the look.
People.
And him know the look.
Yeah. So I said to him, say, yo, them brother there come around and look for me. I say, you okay? They're just crazy.
Yeah.
You see me? And then my virgin come now. So when my virgin come now, I never know say my virgin is a freaking token nigga. Yeah, man, I want token nigga, man. Cause you have
Wait, what make you call him so? What make you call him so?
Yeah, a token nigga, I call him, you know.
Why you call him so?
Come on, Flo.
No, but I want to hear from you. Me know why we call certain people certain things, but I want to hear from you. Like, in your story.
No, remember what we call him at Jamaica? What we call the slave in the house with the white man.
Right, but may I say, what happened when make you call him that? What
you know, I come here, my people, them call him token nigga. I mean, don't start follow them.
I saw. So, he might probably the only one in the group.
Yeah.
They call it down south. They call it you the only fly in the buttermilk, honey. Yeah. God bless your soul. When when you hear that, when my friend you the only fly in the buttermilk. Cut.
Yeah, it's when my friend come.
Yeah,
we go outside. And with me, all right, we go outside. The owner for the bar, the owner for the establishment, there. Two other man, big man, them, you know. About three of them, about three other man, me and my friend. I know say me and the man them outside. I reason and the man say, yo, you with this little fella right here?
They ask you
I
if
say,
you
with this little fella right here? Why you didn't say so?
So.
Yeah, my friend, you know.
Cause if him never co-sign for you, your dog nyam your supper out there. You stay
Why
there.
Yo, the southern hospitality, what them explain about
Very real.
southern brother.
Very
It's
real.
a sham and it's a trick.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you will get lulled into it, my friend. May I tell you?
Yeah.
And then end up on one part or one place. Facts.
Yo, me I go hang up now, but me I go throw a gas for fire, you know.
All right.
Me hear 7 call your name, you know. Me I go away later.
All right. Manners. Me I go look.
Me hear 7 call your name.
All right, sir. Manners here. I saw. Yeah, me here, so, but me not really too pay no attention still. One more. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFLo.
You have a speaker or Bluetooth or something like that, family.
Yeah, but I work with it.
Yeah, we can't hear you on this end though, so we can't take the time if we can't hear you.
All right, hold on. Let me see if can
Okay. Me gone a long time. From me and him, from him put him hand on me and talk about you're in my space and actually physically move me. I'm gonna go, hey, I gotta use the bathroom real quick, go so, and then from the bathroom, I figure out straight to my car, back to my yard. Me not stay there so. But in brave.
You hear me better, SouFLo?
Yeah, sorta.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no. We understand what the brother has said, and not sure it's something about that.
Wait.
I mean, understand what the brother has said.
No. You're not coming through clear.
Alright, hold on. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, brother, let's take you off of the speaker and the Bluetooth, and then you'll be good. Don't try to adjust it, just take away off of it, because it's not gonna be any better.
Alright. Let's say you're much better right now. You're off the Bluetooth still, you know, but that's really building on me still.
Alright, sir. Talk to him.
Alright, so you're a massive. You understand, you know, but you see a lot of people move to some state and they don't do their homework still, you know. And even when you do your homework, you know, it can mislead you still in the SouFLo.
True.
Because let me show you something, you know. Me right now, me in Baltimore still, you know. I'm gonna show you something, you know. And me go out in the county one day, you know. And we go deliver some things. After me move go in the club, you see 3 man, them start to look on each other. But me the penny them still, you know. So me one visitor, somebody say, what this dude in my, or like me say, what's in our community? And the next one say, no. So I there still me listening and my penny them still in the SouFLo.
Hold on,
so
hold on the fam.
It's like one of them move towards me, but the breeze went heavy SouFLo and the breeze gonna blow up my jacket. So me hear one of them say, oh, he's heavy. SouFLo. My thing they can cut long time from him going and say, come here, telling us SouFLo. We don't go out like that, you know.
Alright, sir.
Yeah, man. But do you see what happened to the black brother who moved down to Texas the other day? We purchased a piece of land at the farm. And when we farm up the land, all the white people come down there and damaging property, vandalize the spray painted house.
No.
And after him call the police, who get locked up?
Him.
And him get locked up.
All right.
Him get locked up, and the sheriff them lock him up, and a field place get vandalized.
You know why, bro, right?
So sometimes you have to know the place that you are moving. But let me tell you something, SouFLo. You know, some racist and racist though.
a power them a fight for. You see, because of what them do to us in the slavery days, with the killing, lynching, raping, they don't want us to rule over them.
Brother,
have you ever noticed when a black man being a supervisor or a manager over a white, they don't like that, brother?
Yeah, but a racism. Them a fight for power through racism.
They're never comfortable with you as a black supervisor over them, brother.
Yeah, me say a woman, but how come we so comfortable? That's what I tell you, say we are the only people that don't understand the power struggle and the dynamics. Just like how we the only people who don't understand economics. Just like we the only people who still in at the back are saying kumbaya and everybody loves us and we love everybody. We are the only people that do all of that. Everybody else, they on code when it comes to them.
Listen, SouFLo, we are the only one. Because let me show you something.
Yeah.
You see what going on in Jamaica the other day? Done the upper Port Secret Beach. In Jamaica, you have black day and white day to guard the beach.
Where?
In a Port Secret, in a center in the Discovery Bay, you have black day, white day to guard the beach. Me sitting in Jamaica right there, where the public beach, where the black people them go, couldn't go, and then call police, and the same Jamaican police come there and push out the black people them up. Right now, we see the same beach where the white people them know at Jamaica they fight for and got liar for. You understand me? So the same thing they go on at Jamaica, brother.
You know, so that not gonna end good though, because we're not too right to the know, especially in our place. That not gonna end good, brother. One thing we know about Jamaica is, yeah, them better take that somewhere else. Because one thing I know about Jamaica is this. Let me keep it short, like the shortest verse in the Bible where said Jesus wept. I'm gonna say this: people dead. That's it, and that's how it goes. That's not gonna happen. But I'm gonna look into that one there still because I did see.
But I tell you, it all right.
I did see a video. I did see a video something to
pertaining to what you're saying. I'm going to send it to your phone and make you see it for yourself.
Please do.
I think me have the article on my phone.
Please do.
All
right, brother. Manners. Yeah. Anybody want trouble? Okay. Jamaican people may act like pushovers for a while, but you have some little hot head, hot foot who don't take talk, and those are some. And you know what? Too? Sometimes that is why me not too say nothing about the rebel them, you know, because sometimes they're necessary. Yeah, because them do things with the rest of we not gonna be brave enough to do. We sit down there following law and order and brag about how we are law-abiding tax-paying citizens and we must live by this code and that code, and them come and say, frig this. I mash up every last thing over there, secretly over there. Somebody had to do it, but it wasn't going to be you. Me have a look into that more. I did see a video. I did see them arguing. I did see a standoff. I did see white people on one section. I did see Jamaica police in the middle. And I did listen to a bit of what the brother up front was saying. And he was saying, why are you guys standing here blocking us, the local population, from going in? And they're in there. Yesterday, this was free for us. What happened to them now? So maybe at that me miss. But I will pay more attention to that and see if that's exactly what can be that. Can be that. Must be a misunderstanding. But anyhow, that's it for you on the whole southern thing. This young man who lost his top, literally lost his top, that's a product of a modern day lynching, my friend. And it's sweet in the South. I'm telling you, it's sweet in the South, but it ain't sweet, if you know what I mean. So don't come here and get lulled in. Vicky Victory says, SouFLo, you say you're always packing. What happened to that? What happened to that, Vicky? I have two tall up and a shortest right beside me right now. Yeah, I want an 85 drum clip on one and a 30 round magazine on one next one, and the one that the short one have 99 right now. I don't play. I don't play at all. Me bummy. And if you make me feel like it, I prefer pepper up the place and then go talk about it later. But I'm not gonna be one of them that they caught him off guard and they told him we'll take you here and he went with them and he didn't. If you hear any story like that about me, just know say it wasn't the truth, cause I'm sorry. Cause a man will never ever let him sit. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hello?
Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
1 second.
You ready or not?
Yeah, log on, Sean.
Me there enough. I'm wanting.
There, one. So, me watch the thing about down south and thing right. But me live in Georgia and thing. So, me in a military, right? I do National Guard right now, but on the side, I drive like to FEMA, Homeland Security. So I only work, no National Guard, but only work 3 days at a month, whatever. Anyways, I go Alabama, right? So I go drop off.
You're in the National Guard? You're in the National Guard?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, talk to me.
So I go Alabama, right? And I was dropping off something at FEMA. But you know, them racists over there already and things. So because I'm black, I never show no ID or nothing. I just go there like a regular truck driver and thing. Where a man say, "You ain't getting in here today, you're late." I said, "What do you mean I'm late?" It says on the paper I'm supposed to deliver by 5. And I go there like about 4:20. Right? But because most of the department then closed, me was supposed to just go and drop and just leave back, return back Homeland Security tractor trailer. Right? Yo, man said, "Yo, I said you're not getting in." So I said, "Okay, I'm not in any talking with you. I'm wind up back the window, I'm call my supervisors in. I'm gonna say, "Hey, I'm here," and this guy say I can't deliver. And call somebody like you, say, "Hey, John, this fucking nigger here trying to go in and I tell him he can't come in." I don't know. That's why I hate niggers. Yo, I don't do it. I'm saying, "Where's that like a pussy?" So me shit you know. I'm sure my ID. I'm saying,
Wait.
You feel like yo.
Wait, you hear him address you so loud?
Bro, you hear me say? The man come out and shot. Me say, "Who you fuck?" I said, "First of all, who the fuck you calling nigga?" I said, "Bro, you think because you have a gun on here, if you think I'm scared of you, I have a fucking gun too. Just like you have bullet come out of yours, I have bullet come out of mine." And I say, "Y'all fucking racist here, and something." And then I remember Wayne say again, right? So one next man I coming out, he might come on a little like golf cart. And he come out here and say, "Yo, what's the problem here?" I mean, I tell him, say, "Yo, if the man hold me enough, the man can literally lift me up in a ear with one hand. That's a old white man looking at brother. Neck big and big everything, you know."
Ross.
And he asked me, "Yo, what's the problem?" I said, "Yo, first of all, I came to drop this off. He told me I'm late. On the paperwork, it says deliver before 5. It's 4:21 now. Why this guy telling me I can't deliver?" First of all, he's calling me a nigger. "You the supervisor?" He said, "Yeah." So I said, "You ain't gonna say nothing about that?" When did he call you that? Do you have it on video? I said, "Oh,
God left already."
Okay. I see all y'all rolled on here. I see this a real chum steak." He said, "Oh, you don't want to open that can of worm." I said, "What the fuck?" Yo, I'm showing my idea. I said, "You see what this says?" He said, "Oh, I'm sorry for everything, man. It was just a misunderstanding, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Misunderstanding by calling me a nigger twice? And I ask you if you ain't gonna say nothing to him, you asking me if I have proof? Bro, I need to deliver this shit now. And I need your name and I need his name." You say, why you need her name? Whatever. You could make a complaint with me. Say, "No, I need your business card and I need his business card." So I make a report everything. So they send me back down there again. I'm gonna say, "Yo, I'm not going because I know some shit is gonna happen and I'm not going." Or if when I go back there, none of them two posted in the work there again. I say, "Yo, if me live in Alabama, I hang myself. I go Home Depot, buy a rope and jump off."
Brother, no lie. It can be rough for some people who never been in that kind of environment. It can be rough for them. But it's true. I don't have me grow up, right? I left Jamaica from young, so I grew up here. And then as I got older, I just venture off further and further into more southern states and more southern states. So I kind of been around this my whole life pretty much. So feel foreign to me. But I've had people that come from New York when moved down here after them leave the islands and them left like right away, like, "Yo, house cheap, yeah, so I gonna move here, so jobs are there." less cost of living, and them come and them like, no, me go back to New York, go pay the whole heap of rent and all this other stuff because so much more going on with them can't take, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for real though, it's shit real. That I first time experience like serious racism.
Yeah, man. My dad Davey one time, I went to get a job, actually, and the job was, them time they had to pay good. The job was at Publix, warehouse job at Publix warehouse. And I'm standing, me and my cousin from Canada. My cousin from Canada was over here. He was playing basketball at the university where me that go, Flomo. And him come over from Canada, them recruit him from Canada. So me carry him up there with me, go look for the job and thing. The man cut after that, left him scholarship and everything. Let me tell you, a truck, I'll never forget, a black truck, drive by first. And it's like a quart buckle.
Yeah.
A empty quart buckle them fling first. And it mash up on the road right in front of her, right? And burn tires. Gone down the road. This is Davie, Florida.
Yeah.
And my cousin start backing at the bush because the bus stop that we were at, it was like one little sign and a whole heap of bush back here. So I'm start back in the bush, and he was like, "Oh my God, they're coming back for us. Do you think? Are we gonna be safe? Whatever." We go through this personality. So when them start speed, I come back up the street now. The two of we jumping at the bush car. We're like, "Yo, they coming back for us." And when them pass back the next time, them lean out the window and them shout, "Go home, niggas!" And when they did that, bus came shortly after. Me get the job because them call and say you're hired, you can start when and when. Me not even take the job. I was like, I'm good. I'll stay down here, down in Miami, further which part, you know, more of my kind around me. Yeah. So it's all over the place, my friend. And the further south you go, is the more it's there.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Last incident.
Yeah.
I went into Rome, Georgia, right? Because I did feel like I'm more Alabama and Tennessee wickedness there.
See.
But brother, I go and place named Rome, Georgia. One night. You know,
I've heard of Rome, Georgia.
Bro, you know, says a girl, me have a virgin in a car go look for. See? I'm say, yo, me not got a place by myself, you know, because I don't know over this. It take literally from where I live in Atlanta, it took me maybe like an hour to get to Rome, right? We'll pass a shop that says no blacks allowed, and they come like they have one person. You know, you that roast pig over fire? I saw them have one black man wrap up with something. I said, the fuck?
Ross clot.
I say, yo, them are look on this. And I said, that come on, my people roast it. I said, I'm roast it. See? Because every time I drive, we on my BMW setup, I have my AR-15 put up underneath in a trunk, right?
See?
Like I can open my truck and take down with my gun. I always drive with my gun in a couple and thing. So I say, oh, I'm here, you do good. See? That's about after 5 in the evening, but the place start get dark. Anyways, they go look for your girl. I'm say, yo, you're black. Where you around there, son? I met this while I drive, I say, no black around there, no. Yeah. Pussy people and all kind of couple of people. I say, blood clot. Anyways, they with the girl, I think. I say, yo, I cut. 8 o'clock, I dip on the road, you know. And I drive, and all of a sudden, I see this light come and it get brighter and brighter. You know, say some white boy, you know, one of them, you know, the old Chevy Colorado truck, but they high up off the ground. And the man them bad drive, you know, like the man them I try run
on purpose, I try running off the road.
Yeah. So I say, so I drive, go around them, and my daddy I drive, because remember, I drive, I be my hand, and my daddy I press. And the man them, it look like them van soup up, the man they try to run me off the road again, and my car run off in the grass, you know. So you know what? It's like me, I always drive with an extended clip. I make sure I say, you know, anything tonight. I say, brother, just when you pass the man them, with about, maybe about, like a mile from them now, because I start press, put the car in a sport mode. Me bam, 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 bam. I say, the fuck? I say, yo, brother, shoot him on the rear, shoot off of it. See me? So we turn off our road, you know, we lock off the light and something, look like they slow down and like them, I try to look for it. Brother, you spend time, the man them fly past and something, drive out back on the road and like the man them start, they literally see the man start shoot up. Brother, I turn the car across the road, so I turn the clock, we have a 17. Bam, 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 bam. Brother, I lick about 10 shots in the van, the boy then go call police. Brother, I can show you the police report right now, send you a picture. A man then go tell the police say we are shoot off of them. You know what say me dog? One dash cam when me have up in my car.
Wow.
It's a dash cam save me dog. And no, me can't believe me. I don't go nowhere near Rome. Would advise no black people to go up there. So.
Yeah, me hear about Rome, Georgia.
Brother, somebody else tell me about Rome and say, yo, brother, if the police catch you alone up there, the man they will hide your body up there and nobody can find it.
Warning.
That's the man said. Police, you hide your body up there and nobody can find it.
Yeah, warning.
White boy tell me that too.
Warning. Yeah, thanks for sharing your story, my friend, because not for our people them feel like say it's sweet out there, you know? Yeah, manners and respect.
Alright.
Safe out there, yeah. So you know what, far none of better roses, my friend. And now you can understand why, with all the stuff, because people are like, SouFLo, there's so much going on in Jamaica. How you feel comfortable when you get there? Like when we reach Jamaica, every time, one time I play and touchdown, me want kiss the ground when time me reach. You hear me? All one time we had those 1,600 murder a year in a 12-month space, because there's things there that I feel free. I feel like I left the weight, you know, like it was a chance to take off this big heavy thing and put it down and get on this flight. And then when you reach this safe space, it's like a, and then we can come back later. And when it's time to go back, that's why you feel that feeling, because it's like, oh God, I gotta go back and put that armor back on again and start being that person again and all these other things, you know. Let's get on into, I really didn't want to spend all morning on that, but we did, right? I wanted to run through something for you really quickly, switch topics a bit. You are aware now of how the Southern hospitality thing work, and don't be lulled by it. I hope that they can get some kind of justice out of this. Somebody says, I don't know why that same attorney, Crump, did not represent the Jamaican youth and his family. Well, you know, believe it or not, maybe his people didn't want to go any further with it, or maybe they just didn't look at us as one of them. But that's a whole nother video, because now we're going to talk about division of our own and all this other stuff. So I'm going to left that right there. So I hope justice comes about in this case with this young man, and I don't think it is going to. Anyhow, not unless thousands of people converge upon that city, upon that location, and protest, like how protest was kicking off in the George Floyd something, and it went globally, and then that. If it's not that kind of response to it, ain't nothing coming out of it. All right? With that, let's move to another story now. Let's talk about this lady in the SSL case. Order freezing Panton's assets. I want you to know how much money Miss Panton has. Usain Bolt lost $12 million. Ahmaud Arbery. If it wasn't for the crowd, Ahmaud Arbery's case would have been another one of those, just like what we're speaking about now, and it would have been the end of that. It would have been the end of that. Anyhow, the commercial court on Wednesday extended an order freezing all the assets of the former Stocks and Securities Limited SSL client relationship manager Jean Ann Panton, who is charged in a multi-billion-dollar fraud-relating account held by clients including Olympian Usain Bolt. This is printed in the Jamaica Gleaner. I'm reading it directly to you. I was baffled at the kind of job she has and the kind of assets she holds. See? So the court ordered naturally for Panton to appear in court on Tuesday by video conferencing to respond to the order. They're going to continue to freeze her assets. The freezing order was initially granted on February 15, 2023, in Panton's absence after an application by Bolt's lawyers was put in to freeze her assets. Bolt's holding company, Welgen Limited, is among the accounts of dozens of clients who were allegedly fleeced by some $3 billion. Over $6.1 million was reportedly invested by Welgen Limited over a period of 10 years. But when the fraud was uncovered, a balance of 12,000 US dollars was reportedly left in the account. We know that part already. Now, following the order, the judge had set Wednesday for both parties to be represented for an inter-parties hearing and for the courts to determine whether an extension was needed or not. Should we freeze up our assets still, keep them frozen, or should we release her assets to her? Well, they decided to keep freezing the assets. According to the attorney at law, Obiko Gordon, who, along with his father, Linton, is representing Usain Bolt, when the matter came up, Panton was absent, and as a result of that, an extension was granted by the judge to continue to freeze those assets. He said that the judge also made an order for Panton to appear on March 21st. Today is the 16th. An order is to be served on the Commissioner of Corrections for the necessary arrangements to be made for the virtual hearing. So in other words, they have to go through corrections because she is still locked up in custody, and they have to let this be known by corrections. Hey, schedule this. She's due to meet the judge via this means on this date at this time. Panton, who was charged with breaches of the Larceny Act, forgery, uttering forged documents, falsifications of account, engaging in criminal transactions, and breaching of cybercrimes acts, was denied bail last month and is currently being housed at the South Camp Adult Correctional Center in our wheelchair. Because remember, she showed up in a wheelchair, and it has started a trend since then. Everybody else has been showing up in wheelchair since then. Now, last month, Obiko Gordon, which is Usain Bolt's attorney, he told the Gleaner that the order provides for Panton's assets up to the amount of 6 million plus to be frozen. This woman have assets up to the amount of 6 million plus. She probably has more than that, but the order provides for up to 6 million plus of her asset to be frozen. The question is, oh, we're not talking about Jamaican millions. It says 6 million US right here. 6 million US. So I'm doing the math, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, so me and you see it. 12 million gone from my account. We already find about 6 million worth of your assets in US dollars. I want that 6 there. Whether it's apartment, building, complex, and 2 house and some vehicles or whatever, I will liquidate those assets. But I want my money back. So I want that. And then we will go after SSL for the rest of whatever. By the way, the SSL big honchos are out here flinging around lawsuits like nothing. So we not do so much because we have them kind of money that we pay and it look like them are sue people just for mentioning their names, pretty much. Usain Bolt still has not gotten back his money. And as a matter of fact, like I told you in the first video I did, I said this is Jamaica. The money they're gone. They are bold face and dry eye like that. He's not getting that money back. He's not get back that money there. The insult of that for me, right, was where 12 million was supposed to be. You left 12,000 there. The number is significant. I mean, at the same money, but it went from millions to thousands. That's an insult. But I just wanted you to know, her job is managing people's accounts. That job doesn't pay you enough to have millions of US dollars worth of assets. Millions in Jamaican dollars worth of assets, yes. But not even like up to say about 1 million US. 6 million plus. So it looked like the time when she'd have talked about how, you know, oh, I fell on hard times and my father got sick and then he passed away and he had to get treatment before he passed away. Then I had to finance his funeral and then my brother start losing mine and attack my mother and we had to make sure he got care. And then COVID hit and then my finances started piling up and then my hours at job cut down and then my paycheck get cut down. That was her excuse, right? It looked like she never stopped after that. She just said, forget it, man. Because since we are tech, we just tech. Yes, King Biggs. King Biggs said, since them are sue like that, next subject then. Me not send nothing out of the way. I read, if them ever sue me, they would have to sue Gleaner, Loop, Star, Observer. I'm not afraid to quote my sources. If me say it, them said it first, right? So he was only repeating, and I'll have an attorney stand in court and say he was only repeating what was published in your national newspaper, sir. What's there to sue about? Yeah, cause me not say nothing like how I was there, I know this and that. A thief, you know. Yeah. No, I'm reading from this. If this tell me say you're a thief, then me I go say you're a thief. Other than that, me no know. He also shared then that the production order has also been made for her to provide a statement for all her assets, real estate holdings, shares, stocks, etc. So now that them find out say so much she own and so much she has, she was amassing a freaking fortune. You know what? You know what is $6 million in Jamaica? You're rich, you know. Now they want to know, how did you get all this? Where money come from to buy this? Where money come from to buy that? How many shares do you own in stocks in wherever, estate holdings, all of that, all her assets? She has now been ordered to provide statements for all of her assets. Guess what's going to happen next if she can't provide statement for all her assets? I bought it in 2013, man. There's nothing wrong with you know, I was working really hard and I saved my money and I bought that piece of property right there is 2.5 million US. Yes. I worked really hard and I saved my money. Okay, where is the how you get it? How you get the finances? Who pay you so much that you were able to pay all your bills, live day to day, and own that? Can't provide paperwork saying they taking all that. So her story, last month the Supreme Court extended another order blocking the directors of fraud hit SSL from winding up the company or from liquidating its assets. So that could have been a way out. So SSL could have said, you know what? Well, the ship is halfway under the water at this point. Let's wind up everything, liquidate our assets, cut. They block that. Nothing goes anywhere. Everything stays right there where it's at. Right? We have to go through the whole of this because we want to figure out who did what and what went where and where all of the people and money gone. I told y'all there's an 80-something-year-old person who has a lawsuit out against them now. And this is just one of the other 40-something people. And their account alone was over 800 and something thousand US dollars. Poof, gone. Craziness. Craziness. But I will continue to follow Miss Panton because I never know Miss Panton did so rich. I will continue to follow her. You know, so that is the kind of money where you go prison for real, though. See, somebody in your family, right, has to take a fall in order for others to stand for generations to come. So if she is saying that she's going to be the sacrificial lamb, that nobody else named Panton after this will ever have to suffer again, then because another generation or two from now, nobody now gonna say, move on, go, your granny a thief. Your granny was a corporate chopper, one of the biggest in Jamaica. Nobody now gonna remember that. And her children or grandchildren will have lots of money to spend and nice places to go and own and live the opulent life that a lot of us dream of but can't afford. Yeah, think about that part. Think about that part. All right. The last topic for the morning this morning. Share corporate chopper man. Anybody, that's the way to go. It seems like they're the only people in Jamaica though who are making it. Because when I looked at, I know a lot of you follow Andre, but he published something yesterday about a firefighter's pay. And somebody keep jumping on there and saying, stop spreading lies and propaganda. They just said yes to a new deal, which gives them an extra 20,000 or an extra 50,000. And me put this extra, me put an extra 100,000, and it's still, them people are working for like 450 US dollars a month. I want y'all to understand that. And every time you say something about it, them say, but you're not in America though. I said nobody in America is going to be a firefighter full time for 450 US dollars a month. You can't even survive off of that, anyways. Well, you're not in America though, so yeah, but the bills them in Jamaica is big like the bills them in America. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. The bills them in Jamaica is big like the bills them in America. If you think a joke. Yo, them have some place in Jamaica, and I'm a friend where monthly rent. I'm not talking house, I'm talking apartment. Monthly rent. It's all 1,800 US and 2,700 US dollar a month. Sometimes when I look upon them, come here and say, babe, you know, so it would be nice for us to go down to Jamaica, right? No, my family have property. I have places I can stay without paying rent. But this would be me trying to be independent, right? And branch out and do my own thing at the same time. I'm learning about how the place run. We say, you know, we think we should have go down for like a month and then go down, and then if it work out good, like live and work remotely. And then if it work out good, we disappear for like the next 2-3 months and something. Let me start look up decent place, nice security, something around the locals. Because I don't want to know, hi, we're up here, kind of thing. You don't belong here. Who are you? Me not in that. So when we go local and we are look up and we see 2,700 US dollar a month. Me I say, then who live here so? Because the whole complex full. People live there. So when me look for all them, the kind of something there, 1,600, me say no, me need something lower, 1,200, me need something lower, 800-900 US dollars a month, and I'm thinking, how can you survive? How can you survive? Even if you and your spouse they work and put on the money together, on a barely make it, like literally by the skin of your teeth making it. Debbie Jervis said SouFLo is not even $450 a month, it's more like $426 a month. Who the hell can live on that pittance without social service assistance? Imagine that. Eh? Imagine that. Somebody has said, imagine I put your life in jeopardy for that. Imagine putting your life, Audrey Wright says, in jeopardy every day for $450 a month. No, you know me, like a ton thief. Me would have been corrupted. I would be a corporate chopper. So, and I'm not trying to say that I am encouraging criminal activities. I'm just saying, if that is what it came to, if that is what it came to for me, then it's down to survival, friend. So you can't blame me if me chop off a thing. Me wasn't too greedy like what's your name here though, like what's your name, Miss Panton. You know, me wouldn't too greedy like that. I wouldn't fleece 40 accounts. Nobody wouldn't missing 12 million US. Me wouldn't do all that. Me stifle off my little thing and throw it nice. Me did it for 30 years. Yes, this is where I'm going to retire from. All when them try push me out of the building. You're not tired. You know, sister, you need breathing machine now. You're too old. You can't do the work again. You can't press the computer, see your hand them here. I said, no, me can't come still do the work. You know, me work for free in here. Because me are going to go thief still. Me work for free in here. Take your little time and take your little and take your little and take your little and stash it over this one. Live off it nicely and I still get a regular pay. The little crumbs where them feed you. Call crumbs that. That's slavery money, my friend. That's slavery money. Now me understand why pum pum fling west up. Because when you tell girl about 100 US, 200 US, Ross. Well, on the list today, we have backshot, lizard lap, and deep throat. And you want anything else added to that, sir? Because those are going to be, you're like, oh, the girl them wore out themselves, so rotted. And I'm not encouraging that either. I'm just saying life hard as rotted. Jamaica is nice, right? But what we notice is this: Jamaica is expensive. Jamaica, and I know some people are gonna say, SouFlo, Jamaica is not expensive if you go live in the bush and if you eat off trees. And who want to live like that? At 2023, my friend, we want to visit the bush. We don't want to live in the bush. You know what I'm saying? We want to visit the bush. We don't want to live in the bush. Some people are gonna tell about if you just go locally and you buy yam from around Master Joe, and if you buy some oranges from over Miss Ruby, and if you buy some, but I know so we want to live, my friend. The rest of the world gone left with. Why we fit in a bush still? We want to drive car too. I want to drive nice car too. We don't want to drive the one we pop down every time we drive 2 miles and we have to go. You hope say you're bridging a mechanic and I hope say around a film gate you pop down car. We don't want to live them life there. We want to zoom past in a nice Beamer and Benz too. Well, we're not even have to get so extravagant and go Beamer and Benz. But something reliable, man. Why we must come here and batter with whole life and just accept say it's battering with whole life? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. That's why sometimes you see when the little rebel them kick out and start do them madness, we just act like me not see nothing. SouFlo, how come you're not covering so and so? I didn't see it. I don't know. You know, so you're a criminal sympathizer. How? When me not see nothing? Cause no man. No man. Somebody want us to live under some horrendous conditions. You know? Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFlo.
Good morning, fam. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Nice to hear.
All right. Talk to us, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the same thing we're topic on the fun that my brain found now. I went to Jacksonville to do a course in Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida.
And after I go to school, and the other guy that now will come and pick me up. So he went up Georgia, and I was supposed to come from about 4 o'clock. He didn't reach on time. We stayed at the hotel, and it was about half mile down the road, and I came out and I started to walk after 5. When he came to pick me up, I wasn't there because I had left. And I was about 100 meters down, and he came and he said, "Hey, Eddie, you don't do that. These guys were passing sheets with a black man around here. You're not in Ireland." Man, I mean, it's a cold bomb full me, brother.
Yeah. You never know
that. When that man drove back to the hotel, and I took about 5 laps on the door. I locked over that, then I'm back till the next morning. Anyway, I go to smoke like Pandora, and I know what good to tell me. I'm becoming a 2 type of American, and 18 years now, my visa.
2 times you go America, and at 18 years you have visa.
Definitely, brother.
It's not something that you want to be into, is basically what you're saying. Not your cup of tea.
No. Not my cup of tea, because at least if it's in Jamaica, you know where to walk, from where not to walk. But when everybody talks to you, everything so nice, because, I mean, the language is different. So when I come to talk so nice, say, okay, that's what I'm done. But then again, they'll kill you.
Yeah, the biggest thing with me in Jamaica is this. My skin is not the thing that's gonna cause. It could be because them thinks I may have money. It could be, yo, that boy, they make all heap of money, you know, I SouFLo that, you know, and this. It could be because,
yes,
it could be because me I wear certain things. It could be because them feel like me connected to certain people. It could be a bag of things, but it won't be because of this one thing that I cannot change. Me can't disguise. Me can't do nothing about it. You understand? And that's it right there for me. Cause you can't take it off.
no.
Right.
Right. You see, even if you're a Jamaica still, and you can keep a low profile.
Right.
And go through.
That too.
But you're not safe nowhere. Some part of America, you're not safe no time.
True.
Just by the color of your skin.
True. I get up every morning and go to the gym. Well, I didn't do it this week yet, but I get up every morning and go to the gym. And the hours that I leave to go out, I'm talking like 2:30 in the morning, right? 3 o'clock in the morning. My city where I live in, nothing really happens here. If you get a bumper to bumper collision here, about 6 cars come, each carrying 2 officers. So you have 12 officers on the scene of just a bumper to bumper collision thing. And every day, I feel a certain way as soon as I push out of this driveway. As soon as I push out of the driveway, I'm like, anything can happen. Somebody could, yeah, because they pull you over and then you're at their mercy. And it all depends on how they're feeling that they might or might not make things escalate to justify what them about to do to you. And then it's easily blamed on you.
Sometimes things happen, and it's just happened to the person the night before, then it doesn't you.
Right. A whole heap of stress here, man. It's a whole heap of stress. That's why I keep telling people, I say, far there ain't no big better roads is like y'all be thinking it is, but I guess someone will have to come and see. Yes, there are lots of opportunities here. I won't act like it's hell on earth because I've been here for forever, right? And my children are being raised here, so I won't curse it. I had many good opportunities here that I've exploited here and continue to exploit here. However, when it comes to that right there, I'm always paranoid. I'm always on guard. And that's the added factor. And we can't go around that and lie about it or nothing.
You are a true role model. Always stand with the clip and at the bank at my house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your man gets to the start.
Go.
Do it to them.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So, big up yourself, my brother. That's your again.
Manners and respect, my brother.
All right, cool.
All right, so back to this now. Yeah. You know what? Listen. The wages that our civil servants are getting in Jamaica, somebody really needs to actually talk about this. We're not going to do it in depth this morning, but I'm just saying, if you see the kind of money that these people are making, I encourage all of you to actually go look. Go look. Remember, I know we said this. We have to be an advocate for those who really can't speak up for themselves. Some people just used to things being so bad that them feel like just a little bit more is greatness, way better, when it's still really, really bad. Protesting, striking for crumbs, and then give them a little bit more crumbs, and the protest and the strike stop. We're living in modern times, man. We're living in 2023, and two things. One, living expenses in Jamaica is expensive. If you want to live a good life, happy life, access to all the things that you're used to, and we're not talking about luxury, it's going to cost you. And what these people are working their ass off and making is shameful. It's literally shameful. I have somebody's whole month or fortnight salary in my pocket at any given time. I don't move with cash. I'm just saying, like at any given time. You know, if my whole family get together, a whole bunch of us over here, and I order food for everybody, what everybody want, them own special and all this, at the end of just ordering that food, I've surpassed somebody's last 2 weeks' wages. Just dinner. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And them expect people to live like that and to be honest while they're flashing all this money. And that going over SSL, you know? That's exactly what going over there. You're going to put me in charge of all this damn money, knowing damn well it's a mean Me not gonna make none of this, but me supposed to divert and manage and show where this go and put the one for you, two for me. One for you, two for me. Yeah, I know it's yours. One for you, two for me. No, I don't know how I'm gonna put it back. I'm just borrowing though. One for you, two for me. And that did I go on over there. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying things rough. Things rough. Sometimes when I see the girl them fling out, I not even say nothing no more. Because them not kill nobody. I mean, I would like for them to go do something better with themselves, but it's called survival, my friend. It's called survival. One last thing I'm going to say on that before I switch to our last topic. I watched a video of the Bahamas the other day. There's a youth on Mark something. I forgot his last name. But him said, like, if the food is not spicy, he's not eating it. And him basically travel everywhere and do these food videos. Big up to Food Boss. Him travel go to Jamaica. Him go do food stuff with Food Boss. And him go do stuff with all that. Trinidad. He was in Trinidad recently. I travel vicariously through these videos. Mark Wayne. People, when the man go to the Bahamas, I'm jealous. I was so jealous and so vexed. And I was trying not to show it. Because their standard of living compared to ours, the opportunities that are there and the kind of money where they make to facilitate a nice life. I said to myself, how the fuck? And Jamaica, I go and like say we, yo, I be a bad one, I cuss for me inside. My wife, I watch it, I say, I'm jealous, you know? I'm jealous. All one time them come out to the big seafood platter, all these things, and me hear how much them charge for it, and I say them people make real money in a real time for them hard work. I'm like, I go to Jamaica, I buy that right there, me feel sorry for the person I buy it from. Me give them extra money for it. So I'm like, yo, if they can live like that, why we can't live so too? No man, if you watch that episode from the Bahamas and see if you don't start thinking like, you mother, how Jamaican stay so? Why we can't live this like this too? It really shows up. It show out. Then the one we got Trinidad, it makes you rotted. I'm like, so it's like we are like the beating stick / no man, we oppressed man. We're really oppressed. But anyway, them need to do better. And when the people are protesting and speaking up and all that, we need to stand behind them and let them know that we support them because they are our people. And we see them when I go down to Jamaica, go on people to be smiling with you and welcome home and act like everything is good. But how can they do that? How can they do that? One time I changed some money out at airport and the girl behind the glass will change the money. So hear me now. I says nothing. Why you look so upset? She says, sir, are you changing the money or not? I said, you hear me ask you why you look so upset? Here are. Sir, there's nothing to smile about. Are you changing the money or not? Me just step off my plane, you know. I would have appreciated hey, welcome. How much are you changing today? The exchange rate is this much today, blah blah blah. But she stress out, my friend. The other girls stress out. Then when we go look up for them salary, I was like, I would have been the same damn way. Any joke you crack, see me? Yeah, okay. You ready to change the money or not? And I totally understood after that why. Same way. Just the money them charge for Duns River make me almost ball. For going to Duns River, and we don't own that. Mrs. Nia, that happened to me too. When I was over there, the girl asked me how much money I was and roll her eyes at me and everything. Yep, she gave me the biggest cut I ever. It's like your joke is not funny, sir. You're changing the money or not? Me say, yeah, okay, let me have, me put the money under something for she change it. Me try run a next joke. Yeah, okay. Like, damn, she have such a bad attitude. Go find out how much they're getting paid. You would have a damn bad attitude too. You know? You would have a damn bad attitude too. Anyway, well, last topic for the morning. I'm gonna take one more phone call for the morning, so I apologize to whoever else phone call I cannot take. But my last topic for the morning is about this brother, which me I gonna just run through the story because I tell people this all the time that things can point to you being the guilty person, but it's really not you, right? So the last story for the morning is a man who was wrongfully convicted and sentenced to 400 years is now free. But it took him 34 years behind bars before he could get his freedom. 34 years, the man did it. I said, me never do it. And finally, him free. I don't know, I wish the judge gave him 400 years because I don't know anybody that lived to be 400, but you can imagine how damaging that is to your psyche. It says you're going to have to live to 100 4 times before you can come out of here. In other words, you ain't never coming out of here. Sounds like a lawsuit. All right. Here he is walking out. And of course, there he is walking out. After 34 years, you can imagine the things what this man got through, knowing in your mind, I'm never coming out. Or maybe he was strong in his faith and he knew that one day he would be exonerated. But it's hard. It's hard to stay positive when 1 year passed, 2 year passed, 3 year passed, 10 years passed, 11 years passed, 12 years passed, 15 years passed, 20 years passed, 25 years passed, 30 years passed. You're getting older. At this time, you're reaching your 50s and now go your 60s, and you're like, yeah, this is it for me. So the little boy around us was saying they like me from when I might as well get into somebody because me not gonna have no enjoyment. I saw some of them going. Some man lose themselves behind there. I told you the story already about the guy who got arrested pretty young and got a life sentence without the possibility of parole. And it was, I believe, 10 or 12 years into his his time, serving his time, where him start indulging a body and drugs. And he said it was because of the drugs. And he got pretty wild back there and him broke out. And him change, him totally different change. Him not even talk like man no more. See, him lap fractal and cross hand now and talk like this. And he has fully given over to where he was going to have to survive for the rest of his days and contracted HIV. Then him have AIDS. They went and revisited his case, found out that he was sentenced grossly for the crime that he didn't match the sentence. Something else they go on in there, and he ended up getting a pardon and getting released. And when him get released, the man said, none of that I was really into. I was just trying to adapt to my environment to survive so I don't go crazy or kill myself. So you're gone the whole body route. And then you hear say, you're free to go. And you're leaving with AIDS. Why? So a man who served more than 34 years of a 400-year sentence for an armed robbery was released from a Florida jail this week after prosecutors dismissed charges against the wrongly convicted man. I never lost hope, he said, and I always knew that this day would come. He's now 57 years old. When he learned that he would walk free, according to a statement from the Innocence Project of Florida, which worked on his case, he said, I cannot wait to hug my mom in the free world for the first time in over 34 years. He's lucky his mama was still alive. Because a lot of people who get these kind of sentences, you do 30-something years in prison, your mama passed away, your daddy passed away, a couple of your siblings passed away, your old school girlfriend doesn't get married, she has grandparents now, everybody else moved on, they have a productive life. You just frozen in time. Holmes was the person that contacted the Conviction Review Unit of the Broward County State Attorney's Office in November of 2020, saying that, hey man, I'm innocent. My crime went down in 1988 and I'm innocent. And if somebody could please look over this again, they would realize that I'm innocent. Please. Holmes was arrested in 1988 in connection with an armed robbery that June of two people outside of a convenience store in unincorporated Broward County, just west of Fort Lauderdale, according to the state's attorney's office. Now, accused of being the driver of the getaway car with the two men who committed the robbery, he was convicted by a jury April of 1989, and he was sentenced the next month, May of 1989, according to the state attorney's office. The review unit and the Innocence Projects of Florida started a reinvestigation into his case, and their findings started raising a whole lot of reasonable doubts about his guilt. A strange set of circumstances led to Holmes becoming a suspect. The Innocence Projects of Florida said that one of the two victims described a car that was used in the robbery as a brown Oldsmobile Cutlass that had a tan top and a hole in the trunk. Weeks later, the victim's brother saw a brown Cutlass driving down the road and reported that license plate to the authorities. The car was registered to Holmes, the Innocence Project said. Remember, I know, a couple of weeks after, them see one brown car will look like, and they took the license plate from that car and said it's that. Holmes had an alibi though, and his car had key differences from the perpetrator's vehicle. There was no physical evidence, there was no scientific evidence, there was no corroborating witnesses linking Mr. Holmes to the crime, according to the Innocence Projects. Holmes was identified by one of the victims in a second photo lineup, despite not being identified during the initial lineup. Them say pick somebody. Now, based on the recent review of the case, prosecutors determined that Holmes had a plausible claim of innocence because of how he became a suspect and because of the precarious eyewitness identification that was the principal evidence against him at the trial. The witness wasn't even sure who they were looking at. The Broward State Attorney's Office would not have charged Holmes if the case was presented today. The Broward State Attorney's Office admitted if that same case was presented to them today, they would not have a charge. So a judge on Monday approved the request for the State Attorney's Office and the Innocence Project to vacate Holmes' sentence and conviction, and he was released. That afternoon, when he walked out of the Broward County Detention Facility into the arms of his mother and his family, was an emotional embrace. And he said, they said, we have no rules here at the Broward County's office. Do the right thing, always. Broward County State Attorney Harold F. Pryor said. The guy just did 34 years. But you have no rules, just do the right thing. Adding that he commended the candor and assistance of the victims and the witnesses and the officers in the investigation of the crime. Innocence Project of Florida Executive Director Seth Miller, a co-counselor for Holmes, thanked Pryor and the Conviction Review Unit in the statement for booking looking objectively at old cases and giving this man his life back. 34 years later, you didn't do it. We didn't even have a case. Why? Audrey Wright said, me don't know what me would I do. I don't know what I would I do either, you know. Because the original sentence the man get for being a getaway driver was 400 years. He's going to be so surprised about the west side of Broad County now. Back then, there was no sawgrass. Sawgrass mills and these things. He's going to be surprised at the whole thing. 34 years ago to today is a whole completely different place. But good luck to him getting his life back on track somewhat. It's going to be hard for him. I'm still going to go to bed at night time and hear voices screaming. You know how prison is. And I could tell you, Broad County prison is wild. Okay? Any prison in Florida, are wild. You got to fight. It goes down in there. Let's take our last call for the morning before we end this. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning. So the truth of the day is, I don't know why that not answer. Okay, so the story of the day is this. No more phone calls for the day. We're going to end it right here. So the thing of the day is this, right? And y'all know who I'm pointing to. I'm pointing right to Vybz Kartel. Just like how one little thing might look like, but nothing else points to, is the same thing, Yasso. One little thing that looked like, but nothing else points to. No physical evidence, no DNA, no nothing, no corroborative evidence, no nothing. 34 years later. My bad. If you presented it to us today, we wouldn't have a case. Well, thank you. 34 years later. You know, some almost turned Batman in there. Shout out to him, man. He's a strong man. Your mind got to be strong to make it through something like that. You know, people get 10 years and lose their mind and have to be medicated the whole 10 years. So, more power to him. I hope he finds his way back to somewhat of a normal life and don't get in trouble again. Now that I am sure he is institutionalized, because ain't no way you spend 34 years in an environment and it doesn't affect you. But we'll see. With that said, one love, gonna walk good out there, be careful, and remember karma is very, very real. All right? I'll catch y'all tomorrow morning right here on Morning Thoughts. And if there's anything that you want us to talk about tomorrow morning, leave it in the comment section below so we can have a festive morning and a morning where everybody is involved. All right? One love. Peace.